Hello everybody, my name is Nathan Pomedy. I'm going to show you a quick video tutorial on how to access your Google Drive, create a Google form, then take that Google form and set it up on your Blackboard account so that your students can access it easily and you can get all the data and information you need for the nutrition log. So first things first, you get onto Blackboard on your internet browser. Type in your login information. Whoops, well, that's not a good way to start it off. Typing too fast. Okay, once you are there, you're going to look over to the left side of your screen. You're going to see quick links for staff. All right, so you want to scroll down to where it says FCPS Google Apps Login. All right. I've already logged in. It'll prompt you to a screen where you'll log in. If you're unfamiliar with Google Apps for Fairfax County Public Schools and you don't know how to log in, then you probably need to speak with your SBIT. They can assist you. But once you have logged in, you'll see this. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff in here. You may or may not have as much stuff as I do. But what you are wanting to do to create your Google form, if you see this red button to your left, it says Create. You want to click on that red button. You're now going to see a bunch of options of different things you can create. What we're looking for is forms. So you find forms, it's second to last. First thing it's going to prompt you to do is title it. So I'm going to say Practice Nutrition Log. Just so I don't get it confused with the other nutrition log I've already created. It gives you a bunch of templates that you can use. I'm just using the default for the purposes of this. Okay. So you see at the top there's the title. You can obviously change it whenever you would like. All right. First things that you'll see is form settings. What you want to do is uncheck the requires Fairfax County login. Creates a lot of problems, a lot of issues. A lot of kids don't know their login, especially if you've never used Google Drive before or Google Docs before with your students. So uncheck it. That way it just gets rid of a lot of headaches that you're going to have to be faced with. I like to check Show Progress Bar at the bottom of the form just to kind of give them an idea of how close they are to finishing. All right, so if you scroll here to this first box, you'll see this is kind of what each question is going to look like. All right, so I will type in the first question, which is first name. You always want to, if you're trying to get data and you want to understand or know who is giving you that data, you want to get a name first. Otherwise, it's going to be anonymous. So I always start off every Google form that I do with a first name and a last name. Okay, so question is first name. All right, you can change the type. So there's all different kinds that you can do. I'm doing text, so they're just typing in their first name. All right. Then I'm going to do a required question. You want all the questions to be required. Otherwise, they're going to be able to bypass it or skip it, and then that's going to throw off what you're trying to get. So always make every question required so that they have to finish it or have to answer it so that before they can finish the question. Okay. Once you're done with that, okay, you can press done. That's fine. It'll show up that the first question is completed. Now you're going to add another item. So the next item is going to pop up just like the first one. And so now you're going to do last name. Whoops. Last name. Okay, same thing. You want the same text as your response type. You want it to be required. Press done. Now you've got both of those. Add another question. All right, so now you want to PE teacher's name. Whoops. All right, same thing. You want to make that a text. You could, if you wanted to, make it a choose from a list if you wanted to do it that way. I tend to just leave it this way. It just makes it easier. Most of them know how to spell the teachers' names, or we have it up there, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. If you think that's an issue and you want to put everybody's name in, you can do that as well. That's pretty easy. Again, done with that question. So now we're moving on. So now we're going to do class period. Whoops, let's do PE class period. So the period in which they have PE. Again, I'll just change it up, and I'll pick a different style just so you can kind of see something different. And I'll have choose from a list. So class periods could be period 1, period 2, period 3, 4, period 5, period 6, and period 7. Okay, that is all completed. Again, you make that a required question, press done, and now when they click on it, whoops, oh, you can't do that. I'll get to showing you how that works. Sorry about that. Now if we get onto the questions. Now to complete filling out the form, you want to make sure that you look at the Excel spreadsheet that Noelle Klippenstein sent out to everybody, the example, so you get an idea of everything that she's looking for. Everything that you think the kids can fill in, put on this form. Okay, if there's things that you know they're not going to be able to fill in, you can save that for later when the spreadsheet is done. It's collected all of the information, the students have filled it all in. Then you can go back and kind of fill in some of those columns. All right, so let's get into some of the data collection stuff that we want. So if we look, January 14th, we want total cups of fruit. Okay, so again, I would leave that text. You want to make that a required question. You press done. Now you add another question. January 14th, total cups of, whoops, vegetables. Okay, same thing. So on and so forth. So now you kind of have an idea of what your Google form is going to look like. And all of that information will be on there. I'm going to cut this short because I think you probably get the idea of how to fill this in by now. Okay, so these are the questions that I filled in. All right, so I have first name, last name, PE teacher, class period, a couple data collection items. Obviously, you want to make sure you fill in all the dates, so the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. Okay, and anything else that's on the spreadsheet you think your students can answer. Once you are done, okay. First thing is you want to, if you want, you can go up here where it says View Live Form. Click on it, and you'll see exactly what the students will see. All right. Then you can also do Accepting Responses. You want to make sure that that is available to accept responses. You want to view responses, so it's going to create a spreadsheet for you. Okay, and this is what your spreadsheet's going to look like in your Google Drive. All right, so if I go now back to my Google Drive, I'm going to see practice nutrition log and the spreadsheet that is attached to that. Okay, so both of those things are in my Google Drive, and I'll now be able to, once kids give me information, click on this and I'll see all that in a spreadsheet. Okay, so let's, oops, sorry, got too many tabs open here. So if I open this back up now, I'm ready to move on to the next step. So we filled in the nutrition log with the information that I've had just for the demonstration purposes. You want to click on Send the Form. What that's going to do is create a link, a URL link to it. So you want to highlight it, right click, press copy, and now we're going to go back to Blackboard. Okay, so now you're back in Blackboard. You want to click on your Classes tab, find the class that you're sharing with your students to get all the information. You are now going to create a new tab. So if you look on the left side of your screen over here, there's a bunch of tabs where kids can get a bunch of different information. You want to create a new one. Okay, so you're going to go up to the top here where the plus sign is, and you're going to click on Create Content Area. All right, it's then going to prompt you to title it. So I'm going to title it nutrition log. Next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you click available to users. Otherwise, the students aren't going to be able to see it. So, and that's going to be a headache for you. So make sure you click on that. Press submit. You now have it. It's now down at the bottom of your screen. So first thing I always do is bring it up to the top. Just makes it easier for searching purposes for the students. As you can see, I already have one that I've already created, but for purposes of this, I always move it up to the top. So now I click on that tab. Okay, it's empty currently, so I want to build content. So I click on the build content button. I want to go down to URL. I click on that. Again, I'm going to title it nutrition log. Here I'm going to now paste my URL address in that spot, and that's pretty much all that you need to add in this location. You can add other things if you would like. I'm not going to. You'll then press the submit button, and you've now successfully created your link for your nutrition log. If you want to test it to make sure it works, you turn off your edit mode. So your edit mode is now off. You click, you'll now see your nutrition log there for the students to fill in and answer. Again, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or issues, please feel free to email me or give me a phone call. Otherwise, have a nice day, and I hope this works out well for you. Thank you.
Is it a video?